Gonna bother me. All right, guys. Well, I don't really know what to say. That was okay. Obviously, I found it funny. I did laugh a lot. I feel like there were so many jokes though that went over my head. That was I feel like I did drugs before I watched that movie. And before YouTube cancels me, I didn't. That's just the feeling this movie gave me, okay? This was a trip, literally, because we were on an airplane, but also, there, it was just joke after joke after joke after joke. And there's no way I caught them all. I don't know if I could catch them all with a second viewing. I feel like this is probably one of those films that I could watch every couple of years for the next 10 years, and I'd still be like, ah. And then even then, I still don't think I would catch everything because there were definitely jokes that were there that I just didn't get, and I don't think I ever will. Like that coffee thing. They brought that up too many times for that not to be like something, but I have no idea. Like a reference to something maybe, but I don't know what that reference is. I don't know. I have no idea. And I'm sure there were a couple of those in there. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know. That was fun. It was really funny. Okay, it was really funny. But I feel like I need to go. I need to ask everyone in my family if they've seen this film now. Because I have questions. Also, what was this rated? Where do I see that? Is that at the end? What was this rated? Because airplane rating. The first thing that pops up, is it a kids movie? No. It's PG? For mild action, rude humor, and brief nudity. I mean, listen. Whenever boobies were present, they were present for a very short period of time, but that's that rating is questionable nowadays. Okay, but back to it. I need a breakdown analysis of each joke, and there was so many. There were so many. Oh, that reminds me. I wanted to look back at that mirror thing. I was distracted by the dog, but again, feeling like I was on. It looked like out of the corner of my eye, like he walked out of a frickin' mirror. Where was that though? Oh, this part. Okay, hold on. Let's watch. Hold on. You're gonna watch it with me. Okay, so here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Look at, he's off camera and now he's gonna walk straight. He's gonna walk straight out of the mirror. But that was a mirror. That was a reflection. Watch. Here he goes. Ready? Ready? 1, 2, 3. See? I wasn't tripping. I wasn't tripping. That actually happened. Okay, so see, there are things like that. There's no way you catch all of those. There's no way you catch all of those. It's like brilliant, but also who comes up with it? Like, who wrote this? And how did you come up with all of it? Because holy shit, this was just a trip. This was a trip. Or a fever dream? Maybe they had a fever. I don't know. I also just realized it's like playing in the background. That bird flew off and pelted somebody in the face behind the plate. See, this is what I'm saying. I see one clip one other time and I'm already noticing things. It's just insanity. It's insanity. And you never knew what was going to happen next. Maybe he's freaking giving an OB exam. Or maybe there's birds attacking people's faces. Or maybe a pilot is being a pedo. It was just, you never knew what was going to happen next. And then I'm like, oh, everyone on the plane's probably going to die because that's been, everything's crazy's happening. Nope, they survived, but not that little girl. Nope, not that little girl. She's going to get in a car accident off the screen. Like, what? And then the plane being like every mode of transportation. It was a car getting the window cleaned and the oil checked. And then it was a train from the old-timey war films. And then it was a plane. But it was the type of plane that it actually was, but it sounded like an old-timey plane. It's just it was chaos. It was chaos. That was a wonderful change of pace. And I feel like I have to go watch it again, but like in a week. I need to process first and then, and then watch it again. 'Cause I feel like there are parts where I was just very confused. But let me know some of the jokes that I missed in the comments. Feel free to explain any jokes you think that I didn't get. Like I said, I am prepared for a lot of them to have gone over my head. I think my favorite one was what's your vector, Victor, Roger, Roger. I don't remember what the other one was. Shit hitting the fan and then the poop actually hitting the fan. That was a good one. There were so many. But that was really enjoyable, and I'm definitely glad that I watched it. I don't know if I'll watch the second one, though. I'm just going to throw that out there. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to watch the second one. This was just like a palate cleanser, but we'll see. If you guys want to see it, let me know. It might not even be good. Because I feel like this is one of those films where when you try to recreate it, it's probably not as good. But let me know. Let me know your thoughts, because I did enjoy it. And it made me less scared to try films like it, okay? It did do that. I'm proud of myself. I'm branching out, folks. I'm branching out. If you enjoyed the reaction, like I said at the beginning, please make sure you subscribe.
Yeah, dude, this was easily the punniest movie I think I've ever seen, period.
Ever.
I don't think I've ever seen a punnier movie.
Jam-packed. Every single, anywhere they could squeeze it in. No, it was mixed. It was like a mix of comedy, from slapstick to puns to just outrageous shit happening, bro. Like, it, and a lot of there's a good amount of these jokes where I'm like, you could never. Nowadays,
Never.
no way, absolutely not. No, not a shot.
It wouldn't make it to the screen. Yeah.
Even if it made it to the screen, it'd be people would be ripping it to people would be trying to rip it to shreds. So it's like, holy shit.
Yeah.
It was funny.
I'm enjoying these, I'm not gonna lie, and this could just be, I was born in 1998, so the movies I grew up on were more modern, and I kind of just had this assumption where it's like, oh, those movies are too old, they're not going to be that good. Right. And I'm not saying this movie wasn't okay, so it's complicated because I'm not necessarily saying this was a good, cinematic feature. Like, that's not what I'm saying. Like,
it was an enjoyable movie though, for what it was. It
did what it set out to do. And
I would say it's a good comedy movie. It's a comedy, and it did its job well.
It's a good spoof comedy movie, because there's a difference.
Spoof comedy. So, but so it's fair to say that it's a good movie. You saying it's a good movie is not wrong. If you ask people what they think about Airplane, they'd be like, "Oh, that was a." I'm assuming if they enjoy it, they're probably like, "I loved that movie," or "That was a funny movie." That was a good. Good is subjective to whatever.
It's a good spoof movie, personally, because if someone told me, oh, Airplane's a really good movie, and I watched that not knowing anything about the movie, I would be like, what was this person smoking? Like,
but it's like,
knowing it was a spoof comedy, I was very satisfied.
True. That is very true. But yeah, it was fantastic. I thought it was hilarious. My ribs hurt right now. I mean, if you guys want us to watch the second one, I really don't have any objections to it. I hope it
might be a little bit, because we are trying to kind of
other stuff we gotta.
We're trying to do like kind of a variety of movies, and this one was our spoof comedy week, I guess you could say. So, but if you guys leave enough comments, we'll definitely get to it. If not, that's fine. Leave a comment down below other movies you want to see us react to. What was the funniest part for you?
I don't know, man. The jive part was so funny with the two black guys. Is so funny, because I'm like watching it, and I'm like, I see once I read the first subtitle where it was like, that old white fellow better leave my wife alone. I'm like, no way they're gonna do that. And like,
it reminded me of the Key and Peele anger translator, where
that's actually a good comparison. Yeah, it kind of is like that. It was just, and then they had the old white woman come in and speak it perfectly. Dude, it was just, there was a lot of funny parts. But it was so chaotic. I almost am like forgetting some parts, because I'm like, there was a lot that happened so quickly. An hour and a half. It was condensed, but like you said, it was a spoof comedy, and it did exactly what it was set out to do. So yeah, it was a good spoof comedy. What was your funniest part?
I think I laughed the hardest at the IV being pulled out, and her like, bro,
that, and the guy with the knife in his back. She's like,
yeah. And then also, I even though I didn't laugh that hard, I really thought that was a beautiful touch at the end where they're already on the ground and he comes through the door and he's like, I just want you to know, like, good luck. We're counting on you. Yeah.
It's like, bro, I'm sure there's probably little puns that we missed because we were laughing and like at some point trying, dude, they just like, it's like back to back to back to back. Like, I don't know how, holy cow. I don't know. The only thing I would say about this movie is the rewatchability would be probably low, knowing that, you know, like you would need
no, I mean, it depends on who you are. I mean, if this really tickles your funny bone,
for me, I would need, well, because like for me, I feel like, or well, in my opinion, I just feel like, you know, a lot of the comedy comes from the puns and like the sudden randomness that would happen and stuff. So seeing it now, if I went to watch it back like a couple months down the line, I'd probably be like, oh, I know, oh, this is about to happen. It would probably be somewhat funny, but I feel like if you haven't watched it in a while, I feel like, and you come back to it, you're gonna be like, oh my god, this movie is like, it was a blast. I'm glad we got to watch this. Oh my god.
Yeah, I had a good time. It was definitely a good thing to throw into the mix.
Oh,
but
yeah.
We always rate a movie after we watch it. So I'm just gonna tell you that I'm gonna be rating it based off of like my enjoyment and entertainment and how good I thought it was as a spoof comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Do not compare these numbers to our
if I was gonna rate it as like an action, like if I was gonna rate like a general movie like we do with the other ones,
it would get a 2 for me.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, because it's just not. There's no cinematography. Like there's like no like super crucial things. But as a spoof, having seen a couple spoofs, I agree that's how we should rate it. So if you want to go first, that's fine by me.
I would give it, and just so you guys know, 5 is average, 6 is good, 7 is great, 8 is beyond that, 9 is top tier, and we never hit 10. That's a mythical number, but we do go to like 9.99999. As a spoof comedy, I'd give it a solid 7.5.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's beyond great.
No, yeah, that's 100. Yeah, I probably would have thrown it an 8. I think there's only like one other spoof where I've never seen Meet the Spartans, but I have seen Haunted House. Now that one, the first and the second Haunted House, those had me like, I was like in pain. But it's been a while since I've seen those. But this movie was, again, you know, 7.5 and an 8. That's fantastic scoring.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean, like we said, if 6 is good and 7 is great, 7.5 means it's better than great. So I really liked it.
Completely justifies, you know, my stepdad being like, you should watch Airplane. And it justifies these people that enjoy this movie so much. I see why it's a popular movie and why people love to watch it. You know,
I just really appreciate how the humor still gets to us and how that, you know, it can connect. Like if say you were 20 years old when you watch this, anybody 20 years old when they watch this is 60 years old now. And it might sound surprising to some or not surprising to some, but it's really interesting how there's multiple amounts of humor we can share with somebody who's like 60 years old or even older. Say if you were 40 and you watched this and you thought it was funny, you're 80 years old now. So it's like, you know, I think that's really cool about, you know, something I realized about this movie. It kind of was like, oh wow, humor hasn't changed all that much.
No, it was very, and you know, like I said too, is like it's very just straightforward. It's like, you know, again, they're not doing so much to set these punchlines, not doing these like ridiculous theatrics to get comedy. It's like it's just the outrageousness and the suddenness and just how the, you know, like I said, pun after pun. And dude, I mean, when they panned, like when he was telling the story and they panned back and the old woman hung herself, I was like, oh my God. I was like, you're like laughing almost out of shock. You're like, that's insane. And then it's like, that's a recurring joke throughout it was just, they did it very, very well. And I'm very impressed. I honestly was like, I'm like, spoof comedy. I'm like, I'm sure it'll be good. I'm sure, you know, I'm sure it'll be, you know, good, watchable, enjoyable, but how good is it going to be really? Well, I guess comedy, like you said, comedy didn't change too much because I was laughing my ass off.
You could definitely say that it wasn't a plain movie.
All right, guys. So yeah, thank you for tuning in. I'm gonna go. I think I'm just gonna follow the last dude's suit and start pouring gasoline on myself.
Really?
Like, James Hong is like one of the most prolific.
God dang.
Yeah.
He's a treasure.
If you are listening to this on Spotify or iTunes, we just watched Airplane and had a hell of an experience. That was a PG film.
That was a PG film. PG.
What was the iconically? What was the first PG-13 film? It's like a big deal that it was the first PG-13. It's like a main blockbuster, but it came after this, and I think this is a great example of why it came after this.
Yeah.
I think this mile per minute humor is a delightful. What a different take. We don't get. They say all the time, I think it's the most trite thing, but they say they don't make them like this anymore.
Definitely
but
do not.
With Airplane, they don't make them like this anymore. My cheeks hurt. I laughed a lot. I was a little worried. Sometimes humor doesn't hold up, or it's a piece of the time. I'm sure there was so much more that we didn't understand. There were references we could acknowledge that we didn't understand, but I'm sure there was even more. So at the time, I can't imagine how funny this was, but now it's so funny. What do you think, man?
Yeah, I thought it was really funny. I had a really good time watching it. And I think just to go off of what you were saying, the fact that, comedy is a very subjective experience. So the fact that we were able to laugh so often, and this movie came out 44 years ago, Jesus Christ, and it still holds up is just a testament to the fact that, comedy is, if when done right, is something that is timeless. Yeah. And watching it, the thing that made it the best for me was that classic thing of comedies being in threes, or the literal nature of how they would tell a joke. And, even some stuff like some of the more edgy jokes, I feel like... I personally find like dark humor funny, but obviously we don't see it as much, or at least not in the same way.
More Irish comedies, man. You got to watch more Irish comedies.
I really do. But they don't do it as much in like more mainstream movies.
That's real.
So I think the fact that this movie was just fearless in all the different types of humor that it had made it that much more enjoyable. Not everything landed, maybe because of like where we are culturally and combination of just being later. He's still in the car.
He's still in the cab.
Well, I'll give him another 20 minutes. But that's it.
I didn't even know they did post-credit scenes back then.
1980? No.
Wow.
That's great. So I think that might be the earliest post-credit scene I've ever seen.
That is the first post-credit scene. Maybe it started it. Airplane making history.
That was, I agree with what you're saying about like the different types of comedy. I think that allowed for like a scatter shot approach where like, oh, that's not as funny to me, but this next joke is, or like this one didn't work, but this one did. And I mean, it was joke a second. Like that was so high volume, but like most of it worked. It really was, it felt like a comedy room. It felt like a stand-up thing where like, let's try this. And some of it felt like genuinely like an animated movie. Like that horse bit felt like a cartoon. And like most of it worked. I was really impressed.
Yeah. I was really impressed with that, but also the actors we had on display. And I think what makes jokes funny is the seriousness in which the characters take it, because obviously we know it's in a comedy, but the more the stakes are real for the characters, the funnier it is.
And
like, the melodramatic was funny. The two leads were great.
The two leads were like straight to everyone else's slapstick.
Exactly.
And Leslie Nielsen was straight. So the three leads,
all
straight, delivering like the jokes, but they were all no slapstick really for them. It was dialogue driven or melodrama driven. It is for some reason playing Lord of the Rings next. What correlation is there possibly between? All right, I'm going to stop.
Is this the extended edition or is this the original?
Dude, I haven't seen the extended edition of Lord of the Rings since theaters. I have not seen those movies in 20 years.
They played them in theaters, the extended ones?
I don't remember if they played them or if I was working in a movie theater and played them myself. But I've seen them. But that was when either I saw them in theaters or I brought my DVD when it first came out. But I literally have not seen them since then. And I think I'm due for a rewatch. Because I've been thinking about it lately. I just haven't seen Lord of the Rings in 20 years.
It's been a long time for me, too.
So, like, maybe that's... Audience, let us know.
Let us know.
Since Airplane is so related, why didn't it just start playing that?
Fellowship of the Rings. I'd be down.
But man, that was... that I need to look up Jonathan Banks.
Oh, please.
Because he, I think, is the same Jonathan Banks.
I did not recognize him if it is.
Airplane.
But yeah, everyone was great. You know what I miss? Leslie Nielsen, because I remember vaguely watching the Naked Gun movies as in my youth, but him being so serious, the level of comedy that comes from that was just unmatched. From him as an individual, not all the gags from the other characters or bits, but I just think he is so funny. His serious delivery, his unbroken eye contact, it's just so goddamn funny, and it makes me want to go back and watch those other Naked Gun movies, which. Funny enough, I don't really remember what happened in those. I know I've seen them.
I've only seen the third one because I thought the title was funny.
The
like
third
3
one?
and a third.
Oh.
Because the title was funny to me, so I think I rented it. Like back when you rented movies by the cover. I think I rented it at like a Hollywood Video in like 97. Like,
Oh, so you don't remember it? Okay.
So that would be probably the next logical watch for us. If you
Yeah.
guys liked this and want us, we could do Naked Gun through 3.
Yeah.
Because I
I'm
definitely
down.
don't remember 3. Dude, Jonathan Banks was the guy.
No
Yeah, look,
way.
you can see it in his profile.
Wow.
That like close up while the guy was doing laundry. That was Jonathan Breaking Bad Banks.
He's
dude.
been around.
I mean, I knew he was in Gremlins, but
He's
even
in Gremlins? Also never seen Gremlins.
dude,
Never seen Gremlins.
he is so good in Gremlins.
Holy crap.
Yeah, this is like one of those casts. Let's see if we can.
One of those casts. Wow.
He's like the cop.
Ah, man.
He goes to the other side of the law. He breaks bad after Gremlins.
No, don't tell me. Okay. I thought you were giving me a
No,
Gremlins
I'm not
spoiler.
giving you Gremlins spoilers.
Okay,
You're
cool,
safe.
cool,
I'm
cool.
saying I was making a facetious reference to time passing. But this movie had so much mile per minute comedy. Most of it worked.
Mm-hmm.
It had such original, different formatting for the bevy of comedy.
Totally.
It had a great cast. Clearly, we're looking at people going like, "Oh my God, they're still working today, 44 years later."
Mm-hmm.
And overall, like the timelessness you were talking to, I do think is rare because even comedies from like the 2000s, I don't generally watch again, and sometimes I'll rewatch me like, oh, I like that then, but it was reliant on the time.
Right.
This, I mean, a great example is what's the not the scary superhero movie? Watched a superhero movie recently on the channel with Andrew, and like it wasn't that funny, and this was, and they're similar goals. Like
Yeah.
superhero movie was like mile per minute joke, reference, but it wasn't as quality of writing, and like this should arguably be more distant from my exposure. I wasn't even alive for another 8 years, much less cognizant of the times and what it's referencing. So the fact that this was this funny is really impressive as far as like it being timeless, the comedy writing being so punchy, it working today. That's more impressive to me than anything.
Yeah, I think watching movies like that, then me and Tara watched You, Me, and Irene, and we didn't really like that one that much.
Me, Myself, and Irene?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Gotcha.
Yeah, me, myself, and Irene. And I feel like movies of the 2000s eras are very much like of their time. Like you had to be there to find those things funny, especially like the spoof movies as well.
Spoof movies, I would say, especially. I think there are like, I mean, I still love Without a Paddle and Rat Race and Austin Powers, and there were some that were
Some
like,
that worked.
Yeah, but overall, like, I don't find myself rewatching them except for the ones I loved. Like movies I liked in the 2000s, I don't rewatch. The ones I loved, I don't even know if I can separate myself from loving them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, so those comedies I love, so they might even be funny to someone else now, but I love them too much to know.
But it's interesting because I guess you can consider this a spoof movie to some degree.
This 100%.
Man!
So we just finished watching Airplane, and we got another special guest. This is our one of our smaller chihuahuas, Mushu.
Mushu's here.
Yeah.
Look at him. He's a cute little guy. Look how happy he is. Look at that.
Yes. What do you think of Airplane, Curtis?
Dude, this movie was so funny. Oh my god. It was just like, there came a point where I was scared to drink water.
Dude, there's that one part where it was the joke. It's like, I like my coffee like my men. I didn't see that coming. And man, I swear I was so close to choking on my tea.
Dude, it was a curveball, that's for sure. Holy shit. Dude, what I liked about this movie is that every joke was so fucking clever and smart.
Dude, I'm still not over the mayo and ham joke.
No,
That was
setup for
really
that
good.
I was wondering, like, I just didn't get it. A Mayo doctor, that doesn't make any sense. But the payoff, it's such a well-constructed joke. Like, holy shit.
I liked it.
It sucks because we don't get humor like that nowadays.
Dude, and like some of the jokes, like the questions he was asking the kid. You ever seen a man naked before, Joey?
You ever been
to
around a gymnasium? Like,
You ever been to a Turkish prison?
yeah, it's like, what the fuck? I did.
Dude, the thing is like it just kept shooting joke after joke after joke. Like some you're gonna miss, some are gonna hit, and they just kept going and going and going and going.
Oh, dude, so many of them hit, though. So many of them
Oh
hit.
god, yeah, dude, I liked it a lot, man. Jesus, it's nice just to have these kind of movies. Like they don't do them anymore, honestly.
No.
They really don't. These kind of parody like films, they kind of just died.
It's sad because, especially this one, I found like this one was just like I told you, the humor is just so smart. That's it.
Yeah, I really, really liked it.
You know, it's hard because like there's too many good moments in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem. Whatever happened to the guy in the taxi? Is he there waiting forever? That's what I'm wondering.
Legend says he's still waiting there, and I can't imagine how much his little time
It's
went
just
up.
racking up, man. It's just going up and going up. That's it.
It's just insane, dude.
Hey, man, I would just take the taxi and drive myself home, honestly, at that point.
He doesn't want to get arrested for that, okay?
Oh, that's true, that's true.
But it was just like... Oh man, there's just too many really, really dumb jokes. I like how it's an inflatable pilot.
And the thing is that the inflatable pilot was actually competent.
That's
And, like,
the inflatable pilot was flying fine. Ted didn't have to fucking land it.
he didn't have to do shit.
He didn't have to do it. The guy was doing great.
I know.
The inflatable thing. My God, dude, that's the best part of it all.
Yeah, it was. He was completely. Dude, I loved how he was like talking to everybody, and they were just all killing themselves. That was fucking funny, dude. I like how the guy, he lit the match, blows it out, he still explodes in the seat. Like, what the fuck? He just explodes, and he's gone.
I'm telling you, man. It's a lot of quick jokes. Like, I don't know, our watermelon hits the desk.
What I like is that even the smallest of jokes are that they could be appreciated. When it was what's it called, the one where it's like, oh, well, do you the smoking letter joke?
Dude,
that was so clever.
That was going on. I was just like, is this smoking like ticket going to be in the entire film?
Yeah,
it was impressive.
It was a very good setup and stuff like that, right? Again, there's just so many jokes that I can name that were just executed perfectly, you know. And the whole entire movie is just a fucking joke. It's one joke after the other. You know, I kind of like that. It gives me the same vibes as whatchamacallit there, the Holy Grail.
Oh, Monty Python?
Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Gave me that kind of vibe. It was just like a joke after joke after joke kind of
Yeah,
ordeal.
you just get a lot of jokes, and there's some jokes that, like, kind of just, they kind of, like, they run longer through the film, like, consistently. Like, when they have to consistently, like, it's like, explain certain buildings and places.
Yeah, like a hospital and stuff like that. Not just that, but it was like, what was it, Shirley? Every time he said Shirley.
Hey, don't call me Shirley.
Yeah, don't call me Shirley. Dude, it's just such, like, small jokes. They had, like, big jokes and then small jokes hidden underneath throughout the entire movie. I don't know, there's so much to look for in this movie. Yeah, Moosh is just chilling, dude.
Yeah, honestly, man, it's nice to have this kind of spin on things.
It's sad that they don't have movies like this anymore. You know, it's such a dying art. Well, it's already dead. It's a dead art. You know, the parody film.
It is. I personally don't even think they would do well nowadays. And I think that's why they stopped them. They just stopped doing well, and then they're just like, we're not doing that again.
I guess so. And not even that, but the humor. You don't see humor like that today.
But I think that's the thing, because like I think like you could think, for example, is that the scary movies,
1 and 2 are really
one
good.
and 2 are really good. I think 3 wasn't that bad, but after that, it's just
kind of just went downhill. It just didn't work.
I think that's the thing. The jokes stopped being clever, and it's just like.
If you're like always going for a sequel, for example, for scary movies, it's just like you can't do. I feel like these movies can't be sequeled almost.
I think so too, because there's many different horror films that come out that you can make fun of.
I mean, that is true. I guess you can make sequels.
I find that the writing for the jokes has just went down lower.
I guess so. I guess it's hard to be consistent when it comes to comedy. You know, comedy's not easy.
No, it definitely is not.
You know, I think comedy could be like the hardest of all of them.
Yeah,
to actually do, because you not only do you have to tell the joke, but you have to also deliver it properly. You know, there's an execution that comes with it that has to be good. Also, you could tell a good joke, but if you say it like shit, it's gonna be a shit joke.
Yeah,
right?
Honestly, I don't know, man. It is what it is. Like, I can't even remember the last like recent good comedy I saw. Like a comedy that was released recently.
Oh, you mean like a recent movie, like.
Yeah, like I'm not talking like, oh, I watched an older film. Like, oh, the other day I was watching Dumb and Dumber. That movie's hilarious. But, like, I'm talking about like a movie that was released recently that's just pure comedy that I went out of my way to go watch. I just don't. Personally, I find recent comedies, they just, I don't know what it is.
I'm actually trying to think, and
nothing.
No, there's nothing that I've gone out of my way to go see.
No,
I don't think there's much of anything that just has interested me.
No.
You know?
It's just the comedies are just, they're not the same anymore. That's literally it.
I guess so. I don't know.
Oh, if I have to think of the most recent film that's like comedy-esque, was probably Hangover. The Hangover. When I saw that in theaters opening day.
Oh, yeah.
That was probably the last straight-up comedy I went and saw, and I genuinely enjoyed it.
Yeah, we enjoyed thoroughly. That possibly is the last one.
That was in high school, by the way, so like that's a long time ago.
Long-ass time ago, man. Whew. That's far away.
But I guess that's it. We had a good time, good goofs, good gaffs, good laughs.
That's true. A lot of goofs, gaffs, and laughs.
I think
that's for sure.
Mushu wants to go to bed, don't you, Mushu?
Yeah, he's giving the I want to sleep eyes. Look at
Yeah,
him.
it's almost his bedtime, so he has to go to bed. So we're gonna cut this short for Mr. Mushu. He's a little diva, but you know,
He's
he
an-
deserves it. He works very hard at his job.
That is true. He's a hard worker.
He edits all the videos.
He brings in the bread, if you know what I mean.
He does bring in the bread.
A lot of bread.
He's a
Rye,
baker.
Pumpernickel, you name it, he brings it.
Dude,
That's for sure.
pumpernickel.
Sourdough even. Don't even get me started, man. Mushu's one hell of a guy.
On that note, we're gonna end the video. I love you guys. Thanks for your support. It's been crazy. Honest to God.